Let's talk about the original 1978 Halloween. This film was written and directed by John Carpenter, most notably starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasence, and Tony Moran. Released on October 27th of 1978 with a runtime of 91 minutes. Let's start with the major positives of this film. This film has such a chilling opening. It's so effective. In fact, it's one of the most chilling opening scenes I've ever seen in a horror film. It perfectly captures Michael Myers. He is such a creepy killer. He has no motives or any sense of humanity. He's just pure evil, and that's scary. I really appreciated the first act of this film. It didn't waste your time. It spent just the right amount of time on exposition. It spent just the right amount of time introducing the characters. It was really well balanced, and I really appreciate that. I was also a huge fan of the second act of this film. It had such a great buildup of suspense. Michael Myers literally spent so much time just following and stalking these teenage babysitters, and you don't know what he'll do next. There's a lot of ambiguity to it. Another major positive I have with this film is it was directed so well and it had really good cinematography, especially for such a low budget film. It had great lighting, it had really good camera angles, and the framing was on point. And it also had great POV shots of Michael Myers stalking people, and that was really creepy and overall really effective. This film also had a really effective third act. It was so good. It really delivered on all the suspense built up from the second act, and it had such a chilling ending too. I was really pleased by it. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but be ready. I also liked a lot of the acting performances in this film, especially from Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis. He really felt like he was scared by Michael Myers and what he could potentially do to the kids and the babysitters out. 'Cause he perfectly described him as a killer who isn't human, like he's pure evil. He has no expressions, he's just a scary killer. I also loved the fact that this film didn't rely on jump scares. It did have a few of them, but when they did take place, they had such a good build up to them that they were actually effective. And this film largely relied on the suspense that builds up from Michael Myers just stalking and killing people. And that's the pure horror of it. The only negatives I have for this film is Laurie Strode did have some minor flops with acting. It was never bad enough to where it took away from the effectiveness of the film. For the most part, she did a really good job, especially if you consider that this was a really low budget film and they probably had very limited opportunities for reshoots. Another issue was a minor plot hole. Like, how did Michael Myers know how to drive after 15 years of being locked up after he killed his sister at the age of 6? That just didn't make sense or line up at all. I also want to note that this film has little to no actual gore in it. Like, if it wasn't for the one sex scene in the film, it probably wouldn't have even gotten an R rating. It would have been PG-13. But if you can put that aside, and if you don't care whether there's gore in it or not, then you're probably going to find yourself really enjoying this film. I was really pleased by Halloween, and I'm giving it an overall 9 out of 10. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.